Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to talk about sport and how important it is to have it in your everyday life. So I was just wondering, how many of you guys actually do at least 120 minutes of sport like per week, we'll say? 2 hours of sport a week, basically. There's a lot of people around me that are in their 30s like I am, and they're starting to have small little health issues. It's normal. With time, people get a little bit more obese, or they even get like little spouts of like pre-diabetes and stuff like that, which seems like it's actually pretty young to get pre-diabetic, but we actually do live in a society, especially in Los Angeles, where we drive everywhere. And when we drive everywhere, well, what happens? Well, we're actually not getting any exercise at all, and we're becoming pretty much sedentary people. So, since we live in a sedentary society that is mostly focused on looking at their phone, driving to places, playing video games, binge watching TV shows on Netflix, you know who you are, right? Well, the thing is, how can I say? It's super important to do some form of physical activity every day. I know that doctors recommend to have at least 120 minutes of exercise a week, which is the ideal, to at least preserve yourself. But I would say that every day you should be able to walk at least for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that, at least to get some sort of exercise in your body. Because the thing is that happens is that if we live a sedentary life, well, the body says we're lazy creatures, right? So the body says, well, I don't need this, so why should I work more for giving you a good heart? Why should I be able to pump more blood in it? Why should I give you good circulation throughout your body? Why should I give you muscle tone? So what happens is we become obese. We start having heart attacks and we become diabetic. And it's not just diet. I mean, think about it. When we exercise more, we have to eat more. So guess what's the good side about exercising is you can actually eat more junk food if you want. To a certain extent, of course, because you can't just exaggerate. But the point is you have to find some balance. And for example, it took me a pretty long time to figure out that I liked sport, because I hated any type of group sport, which is stuff like soccer, volleyball, handball. I did enjoy basketball, but that came later. But any kind of team sport, I really dreaded, and I thought I sucked at sport until I found out that there was martial arts. And with martial arts and gymnastics, I was actually able to figure out that I was a little bit more coordinated than I thought. It's just that I wasn't a good, team sports player, and I didn't really understand why we had to run after a ball and try to get it in a goal or in a hoop or whatever sport we're playing. So, yeah, I think the thing is, it's kind of like reading books in high school. We hate doing it because it's something that's assigned to us. So at the end of the day, what happens is that we end up being people that don't like reading at all. So I feel it's kind of like the same thing with sports. Sometimes we're forced to do things by our teachers or by our peers, or maybe we're not good enough at the sport once we first do it and stuff like that. So what happens is that we kind of like psychologically become impaired on that side, and then just think that we're not good at anything that's physical. But there's so many physical things in life that you just have to find something, in a certain way. I feel like if, for example, you really, really don't like stuff that is like games that are together, like football or basketball, stuff like that, well then, you could maybe do some jogging, or maybe you could do some walking. You don't start step by step, but there's even things like yoga. Maybe you love stretching. Maybe you like more that passive sort of exercise that's actually super strenuous on your body. And if you do find joys in exercising, then it won't feel like such a dread anymore. And it's really important because, yeah, of course, doing exercise that's exaggerated is not good either, because then you're wearing out your joints and stuff like that. But by being sedentary, we as human beings, we're prone to being lazy anyways. So if we're sedentary in our life, then it gets even worse. Then the whole body just basically says, well, we don't really need that, so let's save some energy and not give you muscle tone and stuff like that. And we don't know how long we're going to live. The thing is, people don't really talk about death and stuff like that, but that's something that whoever has lived on this earth has to die eventually. It's sad to think about it, but it's kind of the truth. But at the same time, let's try to make the best out of it and try to have the most years possible being as healthy as we can, right? Enjoy your last day, or enjoy the present day, as if it were your last. And the only way to really do that is by being healthy. So you can't be healthy without a healthy body, and a healthy body will inevitably give you a healthy mind, because it changes the chemicals inside of you. It makes you more happy. It actually makes you want to live. So if you ever feel depressed, they do say the best thing to do is get out, do something, find some sort of activity. But in our sedentary lifestyle, in the olden days, people didn't have to go hiking, or people didn't have to go on walks or seek out exercise, because they were doing it all the time. They were hunting, they were gathering, they were having to move from place to place, building stuff, building their house and all that. But nowadays, we're in a society that's mostly geared on the brain, where we're just in front of a computer screen all day long. So it's important to exercise. That's my point. So I don't know, take those words for what they are, and hopefully you guys can find some sort of health and balance. Once again, it's not a guarantee that you're going to live to be 100 years old, but it's a guarantee that at least your quality of life for whatever moment you are on this earth will actually be worth living, because you can't do stuff when your body's not adequate. And some people do manage to overcome it, but even people in wheelchairs and that have handicaps and stuff, they are actually healthy in their own way. Their legs might not work, but they're strong with their arms and strong. They can do exercise and stuff like that. It keeps your brain better. But anyways, that's my little rant for the day. Have a good day. Bye.